Why Alexander Volkanovski never breaks.
Ortega, he might go to sleep. The grip is broken.
Volk is one of the hardest working champions in UFC history. He is someone who is considered the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, while having the second highest win streak in the featherweight division. Some people believe that this kind of rise happens when someone dedicates their entire life to MMA, but the reality is far from that. It was pretty late when he decided to leave his promising rugby career to become a professional MMA fighter. Most people tried to discourage him for being too short and not athletic for fighting. But all of that motivated Volk to develop a mindset that helps him adapt to any tough situation in order to win the fights and fans. And there were several memorable moments when he stunned the audience with his remarkable toughness. On February 12th, 2023, Alex faced one of the top fighters of the world in the lightweight division. Many believe that moving up a division to fight Islam would be a big mistake for the champion. This is true for a fighter who is as dangerous and experienced as Islam, and there would be nothing wrong if Volk had denied the offer. But he wasn't new to taking risks, while knowing that it's the best way to improve, regardless of the outcome.
That's not how I am. I want challenges. These challenges are making me better, not only a better human being, making me have that stronger mindset. Every fight's a risk. I go out there and everyone has a puncher's chance. I rather take on bigger challenges. I rather take on challenges people think can't be done, because at the end of the day, that just moves you forward.
Dagestan has a reputation for its exceptional wrestling skills since Khabib showcased his talents in the UFC. This led many to believe that Volk would avoid grappling against Islam, but they underestimated his confidence. Alex knew that the best defense from something is a good offense. So instead of trying to avoid takedowns, he was trying to out-wrestle Islam. This not only helped him defend chokes, but also allowed him to be in a position that no other fighter has ever been before against Islam Makhachev. Despite losing the fight via decision, we saw a fight where Volk showed the ability to overcome adversities by simply not avoiding the most dangerous threats. In fact, people like Joe Rogan strongly believe that Alex won this fight.
Volkanovski is the fucking double champ. He beat Islam in Australia. New. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's... he got
really?
robbed. Eddie, you think you lost the fight?
I think it was 3-2.
Brian?
I gotta give it to Volk.
I think so too.
Because
One of the biggest reasons Alex has never been broken in the octagon is that he doesn't allow failures to get into his mind. After controversially losing his first fight against Islam, he also lost the rematch again on short notice. But this time, the loss was more decisive. I'm sure it's hard to imagine the pain he must have felt after losing back-to-back matches against the same fighter. But instead of complaining about fighting on short notice or questioning whether he was injured, he chose to respond differently.
I felt strong. I felt strong in there, but I wanted to pull the trigger, but I don't know, it just felt, it felt a little weird in there. I just felt that little bit hesitant, which I didn't expect. I was waiting for something. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go, and then he got me.
Even after he lost his featherweight belt to Ilia Topuria, he kept being respectful, humble, and funny. Volk understands that it's not the fights that define him, but the way he responds to unwanted outcomes. If he cannot change the past, he can make jokes about it and gain experience to become a better fighter. That's why he was able to calmly analyze his mistakes by taking some time off to return to the octagon as a better version of himself. However, it would be disrespectful to end the video without mentioning the fight that took place on September 25th, 2021 between Alex Volkanovski and Brian Ortega. Despite the match being a one-sided fight, it's considered to be one of the greatest fights of the featherweight division, since the challenger also showed his championship heart. But in the third round, an unexpected thing happened as the challenger caught the champion's leg, dropped him, and then quickly went for the guillotine.
So that kind of guillotine with a guy like that is death. It's death. And that crazy motherfucker from Australia got out, where 99.99% of the people who have ever lived would have tapped out.
Yeah.
That fucking savage. It's like, not today, bitch. I'd rather die.
It's hard to explain how Volk survived this kind of choke, but the interesting thing is that a similar thing happened 2 more times throughout their fight. While it is worth noting that Volk didn't get submitted in any of these attempts, it's even more notable that he maintained his composure. One of the biggest weaknesses that you see in fighters is that they get angry before they lose. The reason Volk never breaks is that he doesn't let emotions take control when facing an unfavorable situation. When he lacks the advantage in the octagon, he remains calm, trying to find logical ways to change the situation. Once he achieves that, you will see a completely different Volk, an angry Volk who understands that emotional control involves knowing when to release negative emotions rather than disregarding them. If you think Volk is the featherweight GOAT, let me know in the comments.